never went back to the library until July 5th, 1998, for book signing of my book, Walking with Joanne, and hundreds of white citizens showed up. At the end of the program, they gave me a library card. So from then on, I felt that Dr. King really provided a way for me, a way out, or maybe a way in. I didn't like segregation. I didn't like racial discrimination. And I wanted to do something about it. And I tried through the way of peace, the way of love, and the way of nonviolence.
In recent years, there have been a number of laws passed in numerous states supposedly aimed at curbing voter fraud. Yet news reports state that voter fraud is not an issue in elections. What do you think is behind this increase in voter laws?
I think in the past few years, especially in certain states, there have been a deliberate and systematic effort to make it harder and more difficult for senior citizens, for students, and for minorities to participate in the democratic process. That's all types of studies, major studies, in most of our country, saying there's very little, if any, fraud. During the past few years, there have only been 2 cases of fraud where someone had been arrested, convicted, and sent to jail. And what they did then, these individuals did, they influence, determine the outcome of an election.
Do you believe these new laws are disenfranchising voters? If so, what groups in particular are being negatively affected?
Well, I think when you have laws like the regulations, like voter ID, changing voting places, and not only changing the voting places, but in their early voting or not voting on Sunday, it tends to affect people. To say to people, you cannot leave church on a Sunday afternoon to go to a polling place and vote. You have to make it easier and simple and convenient for all of our citizens to participate in the democratic process. So we should be opening up the political process and let everybody come in. The President's Commission on Voter Participation was chaired by Democrat and by a Republican. And they made some unbelievable recommendations. And what we need to do in the Congress is accept those recommendations and pass them. And being able to register and cast a vote should be as open and simple as gathering a glass of water, as President Jimmy Carter suggested.
In your opinion, does race or ethnicity have anything to do with the new voter laws?
If I understood you said the race have anything to do?
Does race or ethnicity have anything to do with new voter
Oh,
laws?
yes. Well, I think so. Well, by all means. I think that there's some amount of fear on the part of people in our country. They see the changes that are taking place, especially in the states. Not in the South, in the Midwest, in the Southwest. People are afraid because the demographics are changing. In a matter of a short time, there are going to be more Asian Americans and more Latinos participating in the political process. And people, and they're going to lose position. They're going to will no longer be the governor, no longer be the mayor, county commissioner, no longer be a congressperson, unless they can create viable coalition and create a sense of community. But we need to come to that point where we can lay down the burden of race.
Why do you think some states are passing these laws and other states are not?
A great deal depends on the leadership. I don't want to be partisan about it at all, but in many of the states, started happening in Pennsylvania when the Speaker of the Assembly said, in effect, said, now we can pass this voter ID and it would assure the election of that candidate, he named the candidate by name.
Congressman Lewis, I would like to ask you, what do you think can be done to ensure that America lives up to its democratic ideal of one person, one vote?
Well, I think it's important as we move toward the 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act that was signed into law by President Lyndon Johnson in July of 50 years ago, and the 49th anniversary of the signing of the Voting Rights Act. That we must recommit ourselves to the whole idea of one person, one vote, and that we all have one vote, and it doesn't matter whether we are wealthy or low income. That's what I tried to suggest at the March on Washington on August 28, 1963, when I spoke. I said one man and one vote is the African pride. It is ours too. It must be ours. The vote is precious. It's almost sacred. Someone said the other day that we should reaffirm the right and pass a constitutional amendment saying that we have a constitutional right to vote. Maybe we should find another way to restate our commitment to open up our democracy and let our democracy, our democratic idea, our democratic state, our democratic nation emerge as a model for the rest of the world.
What do you say to yourself on the morning you heard what the Supreme Court did to the Voting Rights Act?
The morning I heard that the Supreme Court had gutted the essence of the Voting Rights Act in 1965, I was shocked. I was in disbelief, and I felt like crying, but I didn't cry. I just made a commitment to myself and to others that we must continue to fight. So we have a bill that we have introduced, and we hope that we can get it passed out House and through the Senate. We get the President to sign it, or we get it passed, he would sign it, and it would correct what the Supreme Court did.
If you could predict the future, where will America be in 50 years in terms of political rights?
Well, I think in 50 years, it's a great distance ahead, but I can tell you, in the past 50 years, we have made unbelievable changes, and no telling where we will be in the next 50 years. I don't think I'll be around to witness, but in the past 50 years, we have witnessed what I like to call a nonviolent revolution in America, a revolution of values, a revolution of ideas. If someone had told me then, I guess I believe it was the possibility that we have advanced as much as we have. 50 years ago, people were talking about people of different races couldn't fall in love and get married. That the certain states, especially in the American South, you couldn't have interracial marriages. And if someone hadn't even mentioned gay rights, men and women falling in love and getting married, that had mentioned the fact back in 1963 or 64, 65, that we have a man of color as president of the United States. They say you're crazy, you're out of your mind, you don't know what you're talking about. But I would say, as young people, it would be left up to you to get out there and push and pull and make America live up to the dreams that you have and that your children will have and future generation will have.
Okay, I'm going to say we have time for one more question, okay?
Okay.
What person who is currently alive do you think is a champion of voting rights and political participation?
Well, I think there are many organizations and individuals today, many young people, and people not so young. There's all type of groups that are coming together in the majority community, in the minority community. But I don't want to name any particular person, but we have a group here in Washington called the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights. It's a very diverse group, and it's made up of African American, white American, Latino, Asian American, Native American, made up of Christian, Muslim, Jewish. It's represent America. It's like Little America. It represents a broad coalition that champions civil rights and voting rights. So whatever happened, the issue of voter participation would not die. It would not be swept under the rug. People will continue to fight and push and pull to be open up to political process and let everybody come in.
Well, thank you. We appreciate this moment of speaking with you about the political rights and voting rights that are going on today.
Well, thank you all so much, and I wish you well and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Take care.
Have a good one.